Hey Capricorn, it's Rebecca with Being Human Tarot here with your February 2019, can you believe it's 2019 already, tarot forecast. This month I'm reading with the Fountain Tarot, which I'll link to in the description if you're interested in that deck and potentially purchasing it for yourself. And I'm sticking with the same 3-card format that I have in the past in 2018. I actually do kind of want to switch this up, but I just haven't done the research of what kind of alternatives I might want to use yet. So for now, I'm going to stick with that for February, but more to come in the future. So as a reminder, that spread is the first card representing what to focus on for the month, the second card representing what to set aside for the month, and the third card representing an additional consideration for the month. So, I've already shuffled and pulled your cards, and for February, what to focus on, you drew the Fool. So that's pretty exciting. It's a new year. The Fool is a new adventure. It's going into something not half-hearted, not very timidly, but like really throwing yourself in a way that's, you know, I guess the shadow side of the Fool might be naivete, but there's this strength in naivete that doesn't sort of get enough credit for, because really, with more knowledge of things, like the risk of quitting your job, for just like an example, with more knowledge of what comes along with that, like you won't have money, like will you find another job in time, how are you going to pay your bills, and those are all very practical things that shouldn't just be dismissed. But when you have energy like the Fool, you're kind of like just you're bucking those practicalities a lot of the time, not always, and you're able to have this strength in, if it is naivete, which it isn't always, again, like lots of different ways to be the Fool, but it's an undervalued strength, because you're doing something that's very hard to do once you're a little bit older and, you know, have some stability in place and are used to certain like comforts. And I don't think comforts like mildly like luxuries, but just basic comforts like having a place to live. So anyway, all of that is to say that the Fool represents really leaping into something new. You might not know all that this new adventure is going to encompass, hence being a Fool. But sometimes it's the only way to go into something. Because if you have, you know, this blueprint of what a new thing will be like and what all the hardships down the road could be like, you might never do it. And that doesn't mean, hardships don't mean that something's not worth doing. So just consider that. For what to set aside this month, you drew the 7 of Cups. And so the 7 of Cups is kind of the wish card. It's the person, you know, with all of these cups surrounding them, and the cups in this card are representing different decisions, different actions you might take, or not actions per se, but different options of, usually the cups in tarot, the cups are giving us something that we want, something fruitful, something potentially emotional. They're for drinking and enjoying, and like there's bounty in them. And here the illustrations are quite tiny. I think you can't really see, the cups are a little opaque. But as a set aside for February for you, Capricorn, you're kind of being asked to while you're still being called to be the Fool and to jump into something that maybe you've previously been a little scared of, or maybe you haven't and you just got this great idea and you're like, oh wow, should I do that? Or I don't know. Yeah, now's a good time to do it. But that said, it's not the time to maybe focus on so much of the different options swirling in your mind of things that you want out of it, if that makes sense. So you want to take the leap, you want to get started, but you don't have to make all of the decisions now, and you also don't want to get stuck kind of only thinking about like, oh, what if I did it this way, or what if I got this, what if I got this, what if I got this out of it. Trying to think of just what you're getting out of it, but maybe the other reasons why you're doing it. Maybe sprinkle in a little bit of pentacle earth energy to ground yourself slightly, because although this kind of like daydreaming and fantasizing about all the great things that could come of whatever this new endeavor is, you don't want to get kind of stuck there to the point where you're actually not making movement because you're sort of fantasizing about it so much. Because now is the time for action. Like, look at this person, they're definitely taking action. They're like leaping off of a mountain there. So set aside the Seven of Cups, and in your card of additional consideration, you drew the Seven of Wands, 2 sevens for you this month. And as you can see in this picture, it's someone who has their own stick, I believe. Yeah, has their own wand and is fighting off people who are coming at him with a ton of other wands. Wands, creative energy. That could be what your Fool card is about if you're starting something that's a new, like, creative pursuit. And, you know, like, honestly, it could be haters. It could be people who don't see your vision, aren't really kind of supporting you in the way that you really need to be supported right now, because it takes a lot to be the Fool. It's not easy. And if you have people in your life that you're noticing who are kind of holding you back, you know, these people are holding back this guy from moving forward, quite literally. And he just sort of has the one creative stick while it feels overwhelming with all of these other people coming at him. So the message here is to persist and to endure. Don't let some naysayers completely get to you, make you feel like your foolish pursuit isn't right. You know, it's fine to hear constructive criticism. We all need that from people, especially the people around us who we care about and who care about us. But, I mean, I don't know. It seems like there could be some jealousy here. It seems like, you know, you might have to just push past some discomfort and some people who aren't supporting you and like what you need to go through this February. So that's your reading for February, Cap. I hope that it was useful. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Once you subscribe and you hit the bell icon, you'll be automatically notified as soon as I upload all the videos for each month. So it keeps it really simple for you. And that's it. See you next month.